Okay. So,
Yes.
yes, Puta?
Miss, mage volume එක අඩු කරලා තිබ්බේ miss, that's why I couldn't hear you.
Okay, Puta. All right. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
Right, darling. Okay, so everybody open the note, right? I'm not sharing it because I want to talk to you all and be able to see you all. So basically, Putas, no, in fact, let me share so that you can see the screen. So today I want to finish this lesson. So let me summarize, okay? So, Kamma, how the Buddha explained Kamma is, it's all about intention, Puta, right? If you do something with good intentions, if you think, say, and do something with good intentions, good results, good consequences follow you. If you think, say, and do something with bad intentions, bad actions, bad results, bad consequences follow you. Now, based on whether your intentions are good or bad, there are ways in which the karma comes back to you, right? So some of the karma comes back to you based on a timing, okay? So that is Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, means based on what you do this birth, good or bad, there is a return, there is a result, this birth itself. That is what Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya means. Upapajja Vedaniya means based on what you are doing, good or bad, the result can take place in the immediate next birth, right? Aparapariya Vedaniya karma means based on the good or the bad that you do, the result will take place from the third birth until you attain nirvana. So those are very serious things which will follow you your entire samsara journey. Really serious stuff. So serious good stuff as well as serious bad stuff, right? Ahosi karma means those are like small, minor things. You know, they are like really small things. They may just lapse. They may just lapse because they are so small in nature. So timing of the vipaka is one classification of karma. So basically what it means is, Puta, any good or bad you do will come back to you. It's definitely going to come back to you. But we can classify how and when and where it will come back to you based on a classification. And this classification, right, is what we are talking about. So some of the karma comes back to you based on a timing, like Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, Upapajja Vedaniya, Aparapariya Vedaniya, and Ahosi karma. Some karma come back to you based on the action, right? So Janaka karma, for example, based on the function, right? Janaka karma means whatever that karma is based on the last thought before you died, right? And we told you a story about Malika Devi, right? So based on the last thought, some karma, how it takes place is it enhances an already good karma, right? Or it enhances an already bad karma. So it's an enhancing effect, right? It's an enhancer. Now, if you think of what enhances things, if you take any fruit juice, when you put sugar, it enhances the natural sweetness of the fruit, Neputa, right? Take any fruit juice, any fruit has a natural sweetness in it. It's called fructose, right? So when you put sugar, it enhances the sweetness. Similarly, this upattamba karma or the supportive karma, whether if some good thing is happening to you, it enhances the goodness. If something bad is happening to you, it enhances the badness, right? So it enhances the nature of whatever is happening as a karma. Upapelaka karma, it counters that effect. So if something good is happening to you, this will kind of turn it around and make something bad happen. Or if something bad is happening, this will turn it around and make something good happen, right? So it's counteractive. And I'm just telling you a summary because we have gone through this in detail. And Upagataka means it completely eliminates the effect in an opposite manner, right? So let's say somebody was born into a very rich family, loving parents, and everybody who looks at the child thinks, oh my God, this is such a lucky child. This child is destined to have a marvelous life. Then what happens? Some tsunami comes, the house is destroyed, the parents die, all the family members die, and suddenly no one to look after that child, and the child lands in an orphanage, right? No money, no one to take care. So that is like upagataka karma. A fantastic karma that started was completely eliminated, right? Completely destroyed. The opposite is also true. So let's say a child was born into a very poor family, kannat nae golanta, right? They are managing with the greatest difficulty. There are 6, 7 children in the family, and then some a young couple comes either from overseas or our own country and says, we would like to adopt a child, and they pick one child, right? And they adopt, and if it is overseas, they go overseas. If it is in our own country, that child then starts living a luxurious life, lot of money for education, right? Good food, good friends, right? And that child's entire life changes. So that is what upagataka karma is. You are born into a certain karmic situation, but something happens that completely changes things. Okay, so that is Pagataka karma. Then comes this priority of effect, and this I explained based on the Harakgala, you may remember, right? How bulls are herded in a pen, right? So Garuka karma is the Veti karma. These dominate over others. If there's like some Anantriya Papa karma, somebody has done, so what are the Anantriya Papa karma? Killing the mother, killing the father, killing an arahant, right? Causing a bit of damage to the Buddha where the skin bleeds, as well as creating a dispute among the Sangha and a division amongst the Sangha. So those are like the Anantriya Papa. So if anybody has done such of these really, really bad karma, no matter how past in a birth, maybe it was 20 births ago, that karma is so powerful, so weighty, it will come and give its effect first over and above everything else you had done in the subsequent births, right? Asana karma is related to that Janaka karma, death proximate karma. So this is about the last thought process, and based on that, that can cause where you are getting born. So in the first one, I gave the example in that Harakgala. Imagine when it's lunchtime and somebody is opening the gate. The most powerful bull will topple everyone else and jump out first, right? Asana karma is when there is no powerful bull to topple everyone else and jump. Usually, gate to langamin nekkina තමයි එතකොට එළියට යන්නේ, right? So that is asana karma, death proximate. Achina karma is habitual, right? So if there is no powerful bull to topple everyone and jump out, if the fellow just near the gate is also just waiting, then nitara gihilla පුරුදු වෙකෙනා. The person, the bull who has usually gone by habit, he will go out first and others will follow, right? So habitual karma is what we must target for, because see, death proximate karma, we don't know what we'll be thinking at the time we are dying, right? Anantariya Papa karma, this birth we definitely haven't done any Anantariya Papa karma, and we don't know whether we have done anything in the past. Because it's all beyond our control now, right? But what we can do is create good habitual karma. And that is what Dhamma School is all about. Dhamma School helps you to create very good habitual karma by being good children. How do you be good children? You have to be, first of all, kind, right? Respectful, kind to all beings, kind to your parents, siblings, dog, cat, teachers, friends, right? That is kindness. And loving and caring, loving towards your parents, siblings, teachers, other students in your class, right? Caring, speaking the truth, being honest, right? And so on. So the more you do habitual good karma, the more a good life you will get in the subsequent births as well. Katatma karma is again like the ahosi karma. It's so weak. In the absence of the above three, then only the katatta karma takes place. This last one, where the plane, this is a bit like quite a simple term, right? So you all know in Abhidharma that there are various planes of existence, right? So based on the good or the bad you have done, it depends on which plane you will get born on. So Kamavachara akusala karma is unwholesome karma sense spheres, right? Kamavachara kusala karma is wholesome sense spheres. Rupavachara kusala karma, again a wholesome realm, and arupavachara kusala karma. Okay, so I think that is very straightforward. So what this table explains is this, right? Based on what you do, whether it is with good intentions or bad intentions, there will be consequences. There are results. That result is called vipaka, karma vipaka. Now, how does the vipaka take place? It can take place based on a timing. It can take place based on a functionality. It can take place based on a priority, and it can take place based on a plane, right? So to end this lesson, there are just few more things to do. Now the law of karma says, right, the doer is only responsible for his actions. So if you think that you are having a bad deal this life, you have only yourself to blame because you have done it for yourself, right? And karma follows you like a shadow, right? And it's a universal law. Now, some religions may not believe in karma. Now, whether you believe in karma or not doesn't matter. It's going to happen anyway, right? So it is like, those days, long ago, before science has evolved, people used to think that the sun and the moon and the stars evolve around our planet Earth, right? That the Earth is in the center of the universe and everyone else evolves around us. That is what they believe. But the truth was what? The truth was we have a sun and there are planets evolving around our sun. And then that all of that together is called a solar system. And that solar system is part of the universe. And in the universe, there are many other solar systems, right? Now that truth doesn't change, right? You can believe anything you want, but the truth will never change. Similarly, the law of nature. So Dharma is law of nature. So the Lord Buddha preached Dhamma, right? There was nothing called Buddhism in the beginning. So when Prince Siddhartha became a Samma Sambuddha, we call him Samma Sambuddha because nobody could teach him. He had to figure it out himself, right? Anybody who figures it out themselves are called a Samma Sambuddha. So Prince Siddhartha became a Samma Sambuddha. And then he started preaching the Dhamma. He said, when people ask, what do you teach? He said, I teach the law of nature. And that is the Dhamma. Dhamma means law of nature. Now, long after he passed away, because the Buddha was teaching the Dhamma, they coined it to say Buddha's Dhamma, right? And Buddha Dhamma, Buddha Dharma, right? Buddhism. And that is how the term Buddhism came to being, or Buddha Dharma came to being, right? But what he was actually teaching is law of nature. And the word Buddha, so when somebody asks him, who are you? He says, I'm a Buddha. And then people will ask, what does a Buddha mean? Buddha means, I'm an enlightened person. I know the reality from the perception, right? So all of us Pruthagjanas, we are unable to differentiate between the reality and the perception, right? So he's a person who has realized what is really happening and what seems like to be happening. What seems like to be happening is called perception. What is really happening is the truth, right? So that is what is called the Buddha or the awakened one. Yeah. So the Buddha said, now even though there is a law of nature, and as per the law of nature, it says whatever you do based on good intentions, good results, based on bad intentions, you'll get bad results. However, he said, Everything cannot be explained by karma. There are other things as well, right? And you don't have some destiny that is written before you were even born, that this is how your entire life is going to be. No such thing. The Buddha said, if you have sufficient effort and determination, you can change your own karma. That is where you see really poor children, they study hard, and our country has this beautiful thing called free education. So really poor children study hard, they pass exams, they go to university, they become doctors and engineers and lawyers, business managers, and then they start working and they earn and they help their families, right? So you can change your karma, okay? And let's say that, think of Angulimala, for example, right? He killed 999 people. And then the Buddha showed him that what he was doing was wrong. And then he accepted it. And he took the right action. He went through the right path. And as a result, he became enlightened, right? So you can change your karma. And that is what the last part of the lesson is. Pancha Niyama Dharma. So the Buddha said, karma is only 1 out of 5 things that is happening in the law of nature, right? Karma is based on your intentions, based on whether your intention is good or bad, and the actions you take, good or bad results will come at you. That is karma. But there are 5 laws of nature, and out of that, it's only 1, right? And he called these laws of nature Pancha Niyama Dharma. So what are these? So Uttu Niyama, right? Uttu Niyama means seasonal phenomena. So let's take an example. Now in Sri Lanka, we have our seasons. Either it is raining or it's not raining, right? Ekko raining, ekko not raining. Usually sky is blue, sun is nice and shining, and everything is very green, right? It's a beautiful country. Many people call our country a paradise, right? Now, when you go towards the Western Hemisphere, you find seasons. So there is winter, then there is spring, there is summer, and there is autumn, right? Now, people who live in these Western Hemispheres, they like it. They like the seasonality and the change and all of that, yeah? Now, imagine that you are living in Canada, right? So you are a Sri Lankan, you were born in Sri Lanka, and you are used to this nice, hot, sweaty tropical climate where it rains a lot. And you decide that, I have had enough with Sri Lanka. I think Canada is better, and you migrate to Canada. Now, when you go to Canada, you will realize that their winter is very, very cold, right? And for people who are not used to winter, people like you and me, it's very, very hard to adjust. And then somebody might say, "Hayo, harima seethalai, puduma karumayak thamai meka kiyala." Now the problem is this: winter is not karma, right? It's a seasonal phenomena, right? You decided to go there, right? That was a choice you made. Winter is nothing to do with karma, right? Then some people say, "Hayo, deinang wahinawa mona karumyada danne." Wahinne karumita neme puta, right? Wahinne because of a seasonal reason. In the close to the equator, which is where we are, it rains a lot, right? It's simple science. So the Buddha said seasonal phenomenon happens not because of karma, because of nature, right? Now let's say it's very hot today. Hayo mona karumayak danne hari rasne. You can't say that, right? Any country close to the equator is very hot and humid, okay? Then bija niyama, biological factors, right? Now, if you plant a mango seed, what will you get? You will get a mango tree. And what will you get in the mango tree? Subsequently, you will get mango fruit. Now, can you plant a mango seed, water it every day, put water, and pray to it every day saying, "Dear mango seed, please make a tree that will give me apples"? You can't do that, right? From a mango seed comes a mango tree with mango fruit. If you want apples, you need to plant an apple tree. That apple tree will give you apples. Now, I don't know whether our climate is conducive for apples, right? But what I mean is, this is another thing that the Buddha said, biological factors, right? So if you take Sri Lankans, right, we are brown skin, Buddha. Then if you take most of the Westerners, they are white skinned, right? Then if you take most of the people towards the African side, they are Negro skin, so their skin is very almost like black in color, right? Then if you take the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, their skin is somewhat yellowish fair, right? So there are distinctive colors in people of the world, right? It's just a color. Now, if a brown skin person like me marries a brown skin person, right? What do you think the children's skin color is going to be? Yeah, it's going to be brown, right? And similarly, if a white skin person marries another white skin person, yeah, the child is going to be white skin. It's a simple arithmetic, right? So biological factors is something like this. Now, there is a beautiful thing in the world where there is mixed marriages, right? So some of my Sri Lankan friends, when they went to study overseas, they settled down and they have married foreigners. Now, in an instance where a brown-skinned person married a white-skinned person, sometimes the children's skin is really beautiful, right? It's a mix of brown and white. It's a really beautiful color, right? But sometimes a child will look like the brown skin parent. Sometimes the child will look like the white skin parent. So you can't say, because it's a mix, you can never say what the outcome will be. Whatever it is, it's biological factors, right? So law of karma, you know, that is what we explained all of these days. Then there's a thing called law of nature. Right now, this is different to, so of course you can say law of nature is also seasonal effect, biological factors, but this is referring to something slightly different, right? This is referring to things like gravity, planetary movements, right? The sun and the moon and the effect on our lives. So for example, you would have heard a famous Sri Lankan saying, "Uda pannot bima vate." Uda pannot bima vate ne ai puta? Anyone? Do you know why if you jump, you come down? What's the reason? Can someone unmute and tell me? Anyone? උඩ පැන්නොත් බිම වැටෙන්නේ ඇයි?
Because of the gravity.
Because of the gravity, Puta. Well done. Yeah, absolutely, because of the gravity. Now, if you jump up in the moon, what will happen? හන්දේ ඉඳන් උඩ පැන්නොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? Does anybody know? Anyone?
It takes a long time to land down.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Because gravity in the moon is only 1/6 of the power of the gravity of planet Earth. Now in Earth, if you jump up, you will come down, and there's a certain speed in which you come down. But if you go to the moon and you jump up, you will come down, but you will not come down that soon. And you can probably jump up higher, right? Because what prevents you from jumping really high is the gravitational pull. So you can jump using your own energy. It's called kinetic energy, energy inside you, right? You can jump up, but there's a limit you can jump because the gravity is already holding you back. Plus, after you jump, it will pull you down. Now in the moon, because the gravity is only 1/6 of the Earth, number one is you can jump higher because the gravitational pull is lesser. Plus, because there is even 1/6 of gravity, once you jump, it will pull you down. Now there are some planets where there is no gravity. So if you jump matamai, you will not come down. Okay. All right. So that is what we call law of nature. Another way to see the law of nature is Puta, the ocean, right? If you go near the beach, or if you have lived near the beach, or if you have studied the beach, you know there's a thing called tide. Vadadiya, Badiya, tide, right? So this tide has an impact on the moon. Yeah. So with the moon, the tide comes in and the tide goes out. Right? So those are all called Dhamma-niyama, law of nature. Finally, there is a thing called Chitta-niyama, right? What that is the law governing the function of the mind, the nature of your consciousness, right? So what does it mean? What this means is, Puta, this is where you have now really learned how to be a good person, right? Because of karma. Whatever you say and do with good intentions will come back as good results. Whatever you say and do as bad intentions will come back as bad results. Therefore, you need to be careful about the chitta niyama. What is your mind like, right? Best way to live on this planet is to have a mind of metta, karuna, mudita, and upekka, right? I think in your previous grade, in book 2, you learned about Satara Brahma Viharana, right? Satara Brahma Viharana is a very, very important thing. I think Nilakshi teacher would have done a beautiful job explaining it to you, right? So metta means maitreya, means loving kindness. Karuna is compassion. And mudita is your ability to bless a person when a person is successful, right? And upekka is your ability to be very balanced no matter what is happening in your life, whether it is good or bad, right or wrong. You're having a balanced approach. Yeah. So that kind of thing will give you very good results. Then that is part of Chittanyam. So once when the Buddha met his little son, the little son Rahula asked him, this is after Rahula got became a monk, what advice can you give me? So then what the Buddha said is, before you say or do something, ask yourself this question. Whatever I'm trying to say or do, is it good for me? Is it good for others? If it is good for you and good for others, then you please do it. If it is not good for you, if it is not good for others, then please don't do it. If the Buddha was here, darling, he would have also added something called the planet. If it is good for you, if it is good for others, and if it is good for planet, you should do it. If it is not good for you, not good for others, and not good for the planet, please don't do it, right? It's very simple. All right, so that is the end of the lesson, okay? And I want you to read this lesson again and really study it, because the usual questions you will get for the exam is explaining Kamma and Vipaka based on the time of operation or the effect of operation or the priority, right? Then they will ask to explain the Pancha Niyama Dharma, right? So the more you study, the better. Okay, Putas. So that is it for today. We finally finished the Kamma and Vipaka lesson, right? So well done to all of us. Yay. Next week, I'll start a new lesson, Putas.